How's it going, guys? Topic for today's video, how I visualize my dreams. How do I do that? And so I briefly touched upon it in my video a couple of videos ago entitled How I Got Hannah. And I just want to go into the more specifics in this video about how to really kind of realize and manifest your dreams through visualization and through feeling good. All right, so the first thing that I want you to think about is if anything was possible in the world and that the world could conspire and manifest the type of life that you wanted with absolutely no thought of limitations, what would that life be? What would it be? What is a type of life, whether you're focusing on a career or maybe a relationship, the type of body that you want, what is it that would just get you so excited and just have you feeling so much joy and so much love, so much excitement, and just feeling so good about the world? What would that look like? Now, it's going to be different for everybody. The way that I visualize and the way that I see the world for the world that I want is going to be different than most people. So I want you to think of creating a life that is individual to you. Not something that your parents want for you or your friends want for you. Something that you deep down, you're just like, man, that would be just amazing, right? And it could be like, I want to be like this amazing like painter, and that's how I, share my gift with the world, and that's how I earn an income from that passion, is by painting, right? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be painting, but just get an idea of what really excites you. What is just like so exciting to you that that's what you would love your life to be based around. With that in mind, what I want you to get is to get either a notepad or something like that, something that you can write down and grab a pen. And basically what you want to do is you want to take that vision that you have in your mind, that image that you have of the person that you want to be, and you want to write that down in very specific detail. So the type of detail that you want to go into is basically outlining all the physical and emotional aspects that you would be feeling and experiencing if that dream was realized. So if you're in that scene, think of it like a movie. Say you're watching a movie on the screen and in like a theater, right? How would you explain that? That's the type of vision that you want to write down. And in a moment, I'm gonna read you exactly what I've written down in the past, and that'll kind of give you an idea of how I've gotten to where I am right now. So as a little bit of a preface, I wrote this visualization just after I broke up with my ex. And I was like, if I was with the perfect person for me, what would that look like? What would we be experiencing together? What type of relationship would we have? And that's what I wrote down. Now there's a few little lines that I'm gonna omit just for basically my own privacy, but I'm gonna read you about 90% of it, what I wrote down. So keep in mind that I wrote this vision down as if it was in the present tense, and that's super, super important. When you're writing something down that you wanna visualize, you wanna write it down in the present tense as if it's happening right now. You don't want to be writing it in the future tense, like it's going to happen in the future, because if you always think that something's going to happen in the future, then it's always going to be in the future. You want to visualize it as if it's like, right now, right? So here we go. My girlfriend is honest, loyal, and trustworthy. She is fun, playful, and so easy to be around. We have so many laughs and good times together. We get along so well and are so civil and chill if we have a difference of opinion. We have such a deep friendship, connection, and love for each other. We're both secure and trustful in our relationship. We trust each other so much. We both feel so much freedom to be who we are in a relationship. And with that freedom, it makes us realize how much we appreciate and love each other. I know this sounds kind of cheesy, but it's what I want. We respect each other so much. I admire and just love her so much. She loves living in a tiny house with me in British Columbia and living a simple, self-sustaining life. I adore this perfect divine being so much. She eats a clean, vegan diet and loves to live a healthy lifestyle. We love to entertain and have our friends over at our property. We get along so well and welcome new friends into our life all the time. We have so much intimacy in our relationship, lots of massage, kissing, and cuddling. We are the best friends and can be so open and honest with each other without feeling judged. I love her so deeply and fully recognize our souls are so connected. She has a very strong sense of herself and is confident in who she is. We are the best of friends and I just love her so much. So that's just one page, and I did omit a few things out of there. This is where it gets funny. She loves our unconventional life and enjoys riding bicycles around. She lives very minimally and doesn't need makeup to feel beautiful. She is so perfect as she is. She is so kind and generous to everyone. She loves to cuddle up close to me with our warm wood-burning stove and have deep, meaningful conversations. She doesn't mind getting a little dirty and helping out with construction projects. She can work from home on the internet or doing her art. She is so passionate about what is she doing, and it is inspiring for me to see. She is so fun, smiley, and cheerful to be around. We love making delicious meals together from our garden. She either lives with me or is local enough so that I can ride my bike to see her. We both love each other so much and fully love ourselves. She's so beautiful and such a bright, shining spirit. I just love being around her so much. I feel so free in expressing my love and feelings for her. Here. It's so sweet. No, but seriously, that's what I wrote down. And what I would do is every single night, I would sit there and I would read this. I'd read this once over, and then I'd visualize it in my mind how I would see that. So how I would see this is, I also wrote another script for basically the type of property that we would be living in, the tiny house that we're going to be living in. And those plans have slightly kind of changed a little bit, but the main idea was that we're going to be living in a tiny structure. We're going to be off the grid. So in terms of collecting our own water and growing a lot of our own food, and also working from the internet. That's what I wrote down. I wrote this down, I believe it would have been November of 2014. So it'd probably be early November, mid-November 2014. And what I would do is I would sit there, and usually at night or sometimes even in the morning as well, is I'd sit there and I'd visualize that and I'd see how it is in my mind. I'd see our interaction with each other and I'd be focusing on all the details about how we'd be having so much fun together and how great our relationship would be, and all these different aspects in detail about exactly what I wanted. And it was kind of funny. So this was mid-November, and basically the idea that I had in my mind was that I was going to be with a Canadian girl. I didn't think that I would be going down the road of having another international relationship, because I'd just gotten out of one. I was like, in my mind, I'm just like, I don't want to do that again. So when I first started talking to Hannah, it was mid to late December of 2014. So it was actually within, I think it was like 3 weeks of when I actually wrote this down that we actually started speaking. And we had spoken in the past before, but there was never really kind of anything there. And so when I started speaking with her, at first I was actually quite resistant to the idea of dating Hannah, because she didn't fit exactly with the vision that I had. Even though she hit like 95% of it, there's the distance, and there's the fact that she lived in the United States. And I was just like I just don't want to go down that route, because I know it can be kind of complicated with visas and stuff. I just don't want to go down that route again. But at the same time, I was like, this is the girl that I was envisioning. Like, this is the relationship that I want. And I could definitely tell, especially just from when I first started talking to her, I was like, this is the girl that I want. But there's this like little thing in the back of my head saying but she lives in America, right? Like, you don't want to go down this route again. But I basically surrendered to that idea. And even in my vision, I wrote that my girlfriend, she would be close enough so that I could go ride my bike and see her. She would be local enough to me. And if you know me, I can ride my bike a very far distance, right? So I wasn't specific enough with that. So I could technically go ride my bike and be in Minneapolis, right? because I've ridden across countries. I can, go on 2,000-3,000 kilometer bike tours, so I could technically go and ride my bike to Minneapolis. But it wasn't exactly how I visualized it, but it was like 95% true. So what I would do is I'd sit down at night and I'd visualize it for 7 to 10 minutes. I'd put on some relaxation music and I'd just get into a totally relaxed state and visualize the life that I wanted. And that included having a girlfriend in a tiny house, working from home, with all these specific details. Now, how it's manifested in a slightly different way than exactly how I envisioned it, but it's so much better now. Like, how it's starting to manifest is so much better and so much different. Well, not so much different, it's slightly different than how I'd written it down. But it's so amazing now, right? And so I'm really so excited because I know for a fact, because I wrote this down, she came into my life, it's all happening, is that it was a conscious creation on my own part. Because I wrote this 3 weeks to 4 weeks before I actually started speaking to Hannah. And that's my visualization process. So what you do is you spend 7 to 10 minutes every morning, every night, focusing on that visualization, thinking about it, feeling the emotions about it, getting excited about it, and putting yourself in that vibration in order to let that manifestation realize itself. And then the rest of the time throughout the day, just focus on feeling good. Focus on feeling love for yourself and love for others and being grateful. So when you're in that vibration of being loving and grateful, then you're actually allowing the manifestation to happen in your life. Because if you're in resistance to it by feeling negative thoughts, that's moving you away from the good feeling thoughts that you think that the visualization is going to give you, or the vision is going to give you. So you want to be focusing on feeling good throughout the day. And this was actually kind of difficult for me because I was working at a job that I didn't like, but I did my best to feel as good as I possibly could while I was working at that job, even though I didn't really like it. I kind of didn't like it at all, right? But I did my best to feel as good as possible, and then things just have taken off. And it's quite amazing. And the craziest thing is that I forget to do this all the time. Even though I know it works, it's that I forget to do it. But I know that it works because I've done it so many times, like in the past, and now it's just like this is quite amazing how this is working out. One last huge thing that I forgot. When the opportunity, in order to realize your manifestation, when it pops up into your life, because synchronicities are going to start happening, when the opportunities pop up, take the action. Okay? You can visualize, but if you're not actually acting on the opportunities that make sense, like if some crazy synchronicity happens and it's like, you need to do this, like it's basically the universe is like, you need to take this action, then take the action. So it's not like you think about $1 million and then $1 million is just going to show up in your life. Maybe an opportunity for you to work for yourself to make the $1 million pops up. And so maybe it'll take a lot of work, but the work will generally be a lot more exciting and fun than anything else, right? It'll just seem like so exciting, right? And so that's something that you need to think about. It's like there's going to be actionable steps that are going to present themselves to you, and you just kind of follow it along. It's just follow it along, right? As opposed to thinking that if I just visualize it, it's just going to happen. The opportunities are going to come up, and then you're going to have to take action towards them. You have to take action. You have to move towards them. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Peace out.